Okay, so this is the anecdotal part of the podcast where I just discuss, things that pertain to me. So we're gonna do another top 5, but we're gonna do something a little different. I am an avid reader and I love movies. And I want to be a screenwriter one day. If I can just get my shit together, I could be the next. Oh, let me not say Shonda Rhimes, because Shonda Rhimes is too consistent. But I could be the next. Let's say Issa Rae, because Issa Rae hasn't put out a lot of shit, and so the expectation is it's high. Don't get it twisted, but it's not like Shonda Rhimes high. I want to be the next Issa Rae. Oh, wait. Lena Dunham. Yeah, nobody really expects too much from that lady. I want to be the next Lena Dunham. Okay. So, today, I wanted to do a top 5. Why won't this dog shut up? Guys, I'm so sorry. I wanted to do top 5 books that I would make into movies. I assume the title of the thing that I want to do explains itself. Here's the thing. I'm sure a lot of these books already have licenses and there's already talks of making it into a movie. But I just want it to be that I said it here first, okay? I said it here first. And if anything happens, bitch stole my look, okay? And another disclaimer. Every book to movie adaptation oftentimes has changes. So I will be making changes to my book to movie adaptations. Okay, so here we go. In 5th place, we have Freshwater by Akwaeke Emezi. Akwaeke Emezi, they are a non-binary Nigerian author. I think they identify as trans. Yeah. And they released this book called Freshwater, about how they went from Nigeria to the US and discovering their gender identity and their sexuality and shit like that. Now, I love this book. I think I love the play of pronouns. Okay. I would love to write this book. At first, okay, this is just me being honest. At first, I wanted to write this fantasy type thing, but then I was very cautious about that because I know how oftentimes. Oh my gosh, you guys, again, I'm so sorry. So when I was talking about Akwaeke Emezi, during the second part, I misgendered them. So I'm so sorry for that. I just wanted to come on here and clarify. My sissiness is getting in the way of shit. I'm so sorry. I meant to say they throughout. Non-binary characters are portrayed on TV as these magical fantasy ass beings that transcend blah blah blah, and I didn't want that. Here's what I would change about this book. I would get all these heterosexual relationships out of here from jump. Okay, all these men that just be fucking shit up. I would get it out. The only person the only male I would have in the book is that male. I mean, I'm giving spoilers, you guys. The only male I would have in that book is that male that does the male, her best friend's brother that she sleeps with. That's the only male I'd have. But the rest of those men, get them out, okay? You know my philosophy. Men only come into stories and life to ruin shit. Okay? So get them out of there. I would introduce more queer characters for her to interact with and play with and figure out her sexuality with. They would also cause chaos and be full of shit. But it's just different when queer people are doing it than when cis het men are doing it. Maybe I'm biased. I said what I said. Fuck it. Okay. At number 4, we have A Little Devil in America by Hanif Abdir Akib. This book is about celebrating Black pop culture, particularly Black American pop culture. As somebody who loves pop culture, I love this book. I would make this book like sort of, if I were making it a movie, I would make it sort of like an anthology series. So it would be like the Modern Love thing or Love Life on HBO, about like different people. So we would get different actors to play different historical figures in pop culture, and then we would get different children or adults to enact. So like it would let me get my thoughts together. Okay, so it would look like this. Okay, so it would be, for instance, like a Black woman working as a teacher, and then we would cut to Josephine Baker being a spy, and like link her being a teacher with Josephine Baker being a spy, and seeing how much of a pivotal role Josephine Baker's art plays into that Black woman's life. Yes. What I change, I don't think I'd change much. I think I would zoom it. I was gonna say I think I'd focus more on the Black women, but no, I think all the people that he mentioned in that book all play a pivotal role in the book. Like I didn't spend my time asking, why is he talking about this person? Like, it was very important, right? Or, he has a chapter about Whitney Houston, and so I talk about, then we'd focus on like a woman, a girl, at least like a teen, who is in a predominantly white space, and the role Whitney Houston played in her life, and then compare it to how Beyonce, during the Super Bowl performance that he mentions, has freedom and autonomy to do whatever, and how that girl is working towards getting that freedom and autonomy in her life. Yeah, that's what we'd try and do. Okay. I hope that made sense. Oh shit, I hope that made sense. Okay, at number 3 we have Get a Life, Chloe Brown. Now this book is for sure going to get a movie adaptation. If it does not, I'm going to scream racism and ableism. Okay, but I would love to write a movie on Get a Life, Chloe Brown. Oh, quick backtrack. A Little Devil in America would be a TV show. Okay, so Get a Life, Chloe Brown, written by Talia Hibbert. Here's what I would change about it. I would want Red to be Black. Okay, I know I'm over the whole interracial dating shit now. Yeah, I know we live in different times. A change has come. Yay. People can date and fuck whoever they want to fuck. That's great. But I think it's more important to see images of two Black people just, loving on each other. And yeah, being so affectionate, particularly with, Chloe being a Black disabled woman. Yeah, just two Black women, two Black people, one disabled, one able-bodied, just loving on each other and being sexual in a way that isn't like demonized or overly sexualized, but just being warm, tender, sexual, having agency. That's important. I'm personally tired of interracial stories. Okay, we've had centuries and decades of like white people loving on white people fucking on white people. Why can't we see that with Black people? So yeah, I'd make Red a Black man, and I would also I would also not make Red as like, I would also not make Red poor, you know, because I don't think Red was poor, but Chloe was rich and Red was not. I would make Red not so scruffy, you know, because like, you know, in the books, Red was like a fixer upper, you know, he was one of those men that you would be like inclined to make better. We were not going to do that over here at all. At all. Ew. Okay. No. Well, yeah, Red was going to be as like, not as rich as her, but he was also, Black Red is also going to be rich, but he's not going to be as prissy and like that's snobby, you know. He's going to be kind of cool and easy to adapt, and everybody's going to find Red likable, but not Chloe, because Chloe's snobby and prissy and doesn't really like people and shit like that. To herself, she only likes her sisters and her cat that Red helps her save or whatever, you know. Yeah, that's what I would do. At number 2, we have God Don't Like Ugly. There is so depending on the mood, because God Don't Like Ugly has 2 books. Of the book series is called God. I would make the first one if I were feeling more reflective, if I wanted to send a bigger message about Black American women in the 50s. Yeah, that took place in the 50s and 60s. In the 50s and 60s, black girlhood. And then I would make the second book into a movie if I was feeling a bit happier, a bit more hopeful, and wanted to write, because, you know, I say that the second book always reads like a romantic drama, you know. It's not really as serious and as high stakes as the first one. You know, the second one is where what is the main character of that book? I think her name is Rhoda. Is where Rhoda, the second one, Rhoda isn't so like caught up in like, you know, her weight and shit. Like she's living. So I liked that about that one. But the first book has more messaging about how Black women did want to just chill, and how Black girls were not taken as seriously, and colorism and shit like that. Yeah. What I would change in my movie is I would incorporate the blind character. Yeah, I would incorporate her more into the show, and also Pee-wee. He would be more of a mainstay in the show. Also, in the second, let's talk about Pee-wee. If I was making an adaptation of the second book into a movie, Pee-wee would be a way better man, okay? Because in the books, I don't understand. Aside from Rhoda getting pregnant by Pee-wee, bro, there is no reason why these people had to be together. Pee-wee was awful in the second book, and I get like he didn't have to be nice, especially not with the way her and her best friend treated him. But like, they didn't have to be together? Like why couldn't they just hook up often, and then a baby didn't have to come into the a baby didn't have to come into the mix. Like, so yeah, I'd make Pee-wee a way better end game than that, because that end game felt forced, very forced. Okay, at number 1 we have my favorite book of all time, The Brief and Wondrous Adventures of Oscar Wilde by Junot Díaz. I would love to one day, this is real inshallah shit, I would love to one day make this into a book. I would change a lot about it For one, I know the book is named after him, but I would get Oscar Wilde up and out of there. Okay, Oscar, no shade, but the only interesting thing about you, Oscar, is that you are fat and you cannot get laid. Like, other than that, you're not interesting. Like, everybody else in that book is more interesting than you. My main character would be Belicia Cabral. Okay, I would focus on Belicia's life, and then I'd focus on the relationship and how that shapes how she has a relationship with her daughter Lola. I would bring the narrator Junior into the fold. He would actually have a face, and I would focus on Lola and Junior's relationship and like how they split up, were brought together, split up, and how Junior actually did love her, because I do love Junior as a character there. Like, I love how, he's not one-dimensional, because usually I personally think men are one-dimensional, but like, he's actually so well-read, he's so smart, but he's a fuckboy. He's full of it, and he just cannot stop. But like, he's caring, and he loves Lola, and he loves the family. So like, what is it? What are we doing? What are we doing, Junior? Why are you fumbling the bag? So yeah, I would make this into a series or a movie. Now, if I made this into a series, I think there would be more room for Oscar to breathe. But if I made it into a series, if I made it into a movie, then Oscar, I'm sorry, there's just no time for you, bro. Like, absolutely not. It would not do that. And I would love to incorporate the political footnotes that Junot Diaz had in this book, like, about can we say his name, the Dominican dictator that shan't be named. But yeah, I would love to incorporate him, like those political footnotes in there. So I would love to work with Junot Diaz on that, you guys. I would love it. My lord. Yeah, okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this this episode. I know it was all over the place, especially this top 5. I'm so sorry, but yeah, okay, have a good week. I'll see you guys next week, Tuesday. Before I go, here is my other weekly question, because I didn't ask one weekly question last week, so I guess I should ask 2 this week. Here's my weekly question. What book would you like to make into a movie, and what would you change? What would you highlight? What would you remove? Let me know. Bye, you guys. Love you. Mwah.